Brodie Johnston is on fire, hits 2 bombs in a run rule victory over Eastern Michigan.
You are Locked On Vandy, your daily podcast on the Vanderbilt Commodores, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into a reaction edition of the Locked On Vandy podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, the number one sports podcast network in the world. Well, the baseball team, they got back on track after a rough weekend, 13-2 victory in 7 over Eastern Michigan. Brodie Johnston essentially called game with his second home run of the night, ending the game in the bottom of the 7th. So this was a game that Vanderbilt needed desperately to get back on track, because sometimes in baseball, when you're struggling, it does not matter who you're playing. But this was not the case tonight. Tyler Baird got the start for Vanderbilt, pitched to Jim. The bullpen came in, did a nice job of getting some quality innings in. And this game was one of those that you just needed to get back on track. So we're going to cover all of that quickly and more right here on this edition of the Locked On Vandy podcast. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Now, let's rewind back to the weekend. You come out Sunday, you get run ruled. Things are a freaking roller coaster. Friday didn't end the way you wanted it to, but it was a hard-fought game. TCU is a great team, as they showed in this tournament. Okay, you can live with that. Saturday, you get back on track. You run rule Texas Tech. You have a great day at the plate. Brodie Johnston hits his second and third home runs of the season in that game. Everyone's hitting well. You win 13-3, and then you turn around Sunday and you just get demolished. Nothing goes right. And sometimes that's the nature of baseball. But the most important thing for this team was to bounce back. And that they did. And I'm looking for the box score now. But this game was one of those that you just had to jump on them. And you needed that momentum. You needed that victory. You needed this type of performance to really, really get back on track and to really make sure that your team just doesn't lose a whole bunch of confidence. Now, it was one of those where it just seemed like everybody was hitting the ball. Brodie Johnston, again, hit 2 more home runs. He's got 5 on the season, and he's got 5 on the season through 4 games, which is incredible. He's seeing the baseball really well. It seems like this new approach at the plate is really helping them. And I get it. It was Eastern Michigan, but those are sometimes in years past where Vandy has hit some dips, like they lose those type of games every once in a while, where it's just like, what are you doing? Like, you can't hit, you're making errors, your pitching is just not great. College baseball is a great equalizer of a sport because your top talent goes in the MLB draft. So it's like baseball is a great equalizer sport where you have a bunch of great players at all these different schools, and you just run into a bad pitching matchup, and all of a sudden you're on the wrong end of an upset, and a midweek upset against a team that you have no business losing to. That was not the case in this one. And Vanderbilt made sure of that. They came out on fire. They came out determined. Their approach at the plate was a lot better, a lot more patient. I think they took more of the approach that they took in the second game, where they were sitting on things, waiting for their pitch. They were driving the baseball everywhere. It just seemed like even when they made outs, they hit it hard. And this was a team that just had a plan. It looked like they had a plan at the plate. Tyler Baird, I thought, pitched an absolute beaut. I mean, he just, 1, 2, 3. He was throwing ground balls. He just had command of the baseball, and it was. And I'm still trying to find the stats because ESPN just loves to give you college baseball stats, which is kind of odd because they don't. You think they would do that, but I was impressed by this team, and I was impressed the way they came out super focused, because in a midweek game, February, like I said, the mentality is just there to be able to just lackadaisical through it and just kind of, all of a sudden you're down or all of a sudden it's a tight game and you're like, what's going on? But that's something that Vanderbilt that shows promise, and that shows that they have a mature team. That shows that they have a team that has a lot of resolve. It looks like their roster has some depth to it as well, so that guys can't get complacent. And so that was, like I said, that was a really good performance from Vanderbilt. And I'm going to continue to break this down here and wrap up the show real quick. But I just wanted to react to that because, there's not a whole lot to react to. It was a 13-2 beatdown. Everybody hit. They got it. They made a lot of great plays defensively. All of that. I'll continue that next. All right, talking about Indeed. That's right. You have workplace chaos, deadline stacking up, inbox overflowing, and the one position you have to fill is still open. When the pressure's on and you need the right hire, this is a job for sponsored jobs. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for: skills, experience, location. So you're not just hoping the right candidates stumble across your post. And honestly, here's a stat that says it all. In the minute that I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. So spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. And when you need the right person to cut through the chaos, this is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And listeners of the show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. So just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed right here on this podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Do you want to win a trip to the finals? Yeah. This is something that'll be a lot of fun. If you wanted to experience the NBA Finals live and in person, FanDuel is giving you the chance to turn that dream into reality with their NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA future, and you'll automatically be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. Yeah, that's right. Flights, tickets, the whole experience. So if you're already looking at the board and thinking about which team can make a deep run, this is a perfect time to lock it in. I love futures this time of year, whether it's picking a team to win the championship or to grab a conference title. It adds that extra layer of excitement to every game down the stretch. And now, not only can your pick cash, but it can also send you to the finals. So visit FanDuel.com to get started. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
I'm Clea Butler, host of Locked On Women's Basketball, and this is Mazda's Women's Basketball Snapshot, celebrating the work no highlight reel can ever capture. It was a heavyweight showdown between number 3 South Carolina and number 7 LSU, and the Gamecocks rose to the occasion. South Carolina secured a hard-fought 79-72 victory to stay atop the SEC standings, using a balanced offensive attack to outlast the Tigers. Tessa Johnson led the way with 21 points, while Raven Johnson added 19. Medina Okot dominated the paint with a double-double, finishing with 12 points and 17 rebounds, while Joyce Edwards chipped in 10 points to round out the scoring. With the statement win, the Gamecocks now turn their attention to a road matchup at number 23 Alabama on Thursday. These moments are earned off the clock, those long before the lights ever come on. The sweat, the fakes, the doubt, the scrapes, and coming back for more every time. Mazda puts that same drive into every detail. Wins define the moment, putting in the work, that defines you. There's more to a Mazda because there's more to you.
All right, thanks for making Locked On Vandy your first listen each and every day. 13-2 is your final. Eastern Michigan goes down. It's a 2-game set, a rare 2-game midweek set. But Eastern Michigan is apparently on a Tennessee swing where they're going to play every school in Tennessee. So they go to Austin Peay this weekend for a 3-game weekend series. But Vanderbilt will get another shot at Eastern Michigan tomorrow, and this will be a chance for Vanderbilt to really kind of lock in some of that, and get ready for the weekend series against Marist. And then the following weekend they go out to Vegas, so that'll be a lot of fun there for them to kind of bounce back against some big time opponents in a similar setting to what they had in Texas. But the biggest thing that I think they needed to work on and will continue to work on, and hopefully we'll get a chance to do it in game 2 against Eastern Michigan, is continue their approach at the plate. I thought, like I said, it was really good. It was really good how disciplined they were. They were looking for the right pitches. They were driving everything. Even when they got out, Brodie Johnston again hit two bombs. He's early season MVP. He's up there in the top of the conference. They just need to start building the lineup around him. I thought the construction of the lineup was good tonight, and maybe that's something that we'll see moving forward. I don't know, but it was overall just a great game for Vanderbilt. They were focused the entire time. There were no lulls. There were no gaffes. There were no like lackadaisical stuff because you're playing a Tuesday game against Eastern Michigan, coming off a disappointing series in Arlington in the tournament. But again, it just goes to show you that this Vanderbilt team again is they're a little bit different. They're a little bit more focused, and they have a great approach at the plate, and that's going to be great for them down the stretch and in the long run and when they get into conference play. So obviously this time of the year is for working out kinks. So that's something they just got to continue to press on. And so otherwise, there's nothing of note besides Brodie Johnston hitting 2 home runs. He's got 5 on the year through 4 games. Tyler Baird, again, may have solidified a midweek starting spot, at least for now. So I'd like to see how he fares in his next start. But looking forward to game 2 against Eastern Michigan and continue this streak and continue this stellar play. So Vanderbilt is 2-2 on the season. Look to go 3-2 tomorrow against Eastern Michigan. Great game. Final is 13-2. They're back on track a little bit. Let's see if they can continue it on through tomorrow and through the weekend as well. Make sure you join the Everydayers Club. Hit this link down below. Check it out. Check it out what all it has to offer. But until next time, we're going to continue to talk football, basketball, baseball, all of it as we move forward on the Locked On Vandy podcast. Thank you for watching at Locked On Vandy on social media if you want to follow along. Otherwise, we'll see you back here next time. Anchor down. Peace.